Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professionals free webinar. Thank you all for joining with us and please stay connected with us till the end. So my dear lovely audience, today I'm your host Nasreen from Bangladesh for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to be associated with IGP as a global leader. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar, and it's my delight to welcome professionals in the webinar. So thank you once again for joining us in this marvelous evening. And my humble request to all of you, please share this webinar as much as you can, and please don't forget to mention, tag, and share. Dear audience, give a thumbs up to our official and Facebook page, and please subscribe our YouTube channel also. So I'm sure all will have many takeaways and payoffs from this webinar. So once again, I'm requesting all of you, please don't forget to tag, share, and so let's go together because we believe that power is gained by acquiring, sharing knowledge. I'm Nasreen, cordial member of IGP. Welcome you all. So, before starting the program, let me read some comment from our comment book. So let's see the name of our active members and comments from them. Okay, we have MD Sir, MJ Surdo, we have Evelyn Bakari, Alex Avir Alvarez, then we have Rosita, we have Napoleon, we have Porash Burman, okay, we have Cherry Maguchi, then we have Millet, we have Angelu, we have Isaiah Kiongi, then we have Geraldine, Joy Grace Castro. Okay, we have JL Padina. Then we have Jack Gucci. And we have Rosie, Jamili. My goodness, so many participants right now. Thank you for commenting and please forget to share, mention your friends in our comments. Okay, give me some time. So thank you for joining. Thank you for letting me know that there's background. Okay, before starting the program, let me tell about a little concept about IGP concept. It is participate from different platforms, different places, different nations, different languages. So about them. Okay, still so many comments coming. Thank you for joining. Okay, let me give a little concept of IGP, Institution of Global Professionals, serve students and community resource, providing holistic social work and education for great profession generation. IGP is a leading online skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. We make it get able to use for every knowledge seeker to originate personality, more ambitious, make confident to face any circumstance, and develop more skills. So we are trusted international reputation. IGP is an educational institution that provides social work. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So We provide effective training on subject matter consulting generation all over the world. So we organized webinar, training for offline online courses, and set by best and trained speakers, coaches from all over the world to create a best learning platform for all of you. Our mission is to empower people and business. So we successfully completed our 534 webinar, and today I'm presenting webinar number 535. The topic is modular approach in the midst of pandemic. So today we have our honorable speaker from Philippines, and our speaker name is Kevin Teresa Wiban. Okay, he's a teacher, um, TLE department, junior high school, and also science department, senior high school. So, everyone, please welcome our honorable speaker to our program. Welcome, sir. How are you, sir?
Hello to each and everyone. Greetings to each and everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I was
Okay.
wondering, is there any problem of network issue? Because you said that there is raining.
So far, it's okay now, and um, I'm not experiencing anymore any problem. So, shall I start, ma'am?
Okay, sorry. Yes, sure. Please.
Okay. So, greetings to each and everyone. Today, I'm going to present to you the modular approach in the midst of pandemic. But before we proceed in the discussion, I would like to thank all the participants of this webinar and the members of the Institute of Global Professionals for giving me an opportunity to share my expertise. So, here, despite the overwhelming consequences of the pandemic, this global crisis has also been an extraordinary time for learning. So we are learning how to be adaptable and resilient in educational system, policy, as a teacher, student, and also a part or a member of the family or household. So, in this webinar, you will learn about the modular approach in the midst of pandemic. So, in particular, to the needs to write a module, defining a module, its benefit, our role as a teacher or a professor, how do we write a module, and finally, the components of a module. Now, let me give you a short description of a modular approach for us to have the same level of comprehension. So basically, when we say modular approach, it is an emerging trend of educational thinking uh, that shifts the traditional method of instruction to an outcome-based learning or yung OBE paradigm. So the modularization is based on the principles of dividing the curriculum into a small discrete module or unit that independent, non-sequential, and typically short in duration. Or usually yung uh, these learning divided into a learning packets. Okay. Now, why do we need to write a? Why do we need to know about uh, this webinar? So there are two crucial factors have shifted due to the pandemic. Okay, so the first one is the pedagogical adaptation have proven to be pivotal as a traditional lecturing in person or what also known as the face-to-face models do not translate to remote learning environment. So no matter the type of the channels used, for an instance, the radio, television, mobile phone, online platform, etc., the teachers needs to adapt their practice and be creative to keep the student engaged, as every household has to become classroom. And then more often than not, without any environment that supports the learning. Secondly, the pandemic has recalibrate us teachers in uh, dividing us uh, dividing our time between teaching and of course in engaging with the student with regards to answering the queries or when they need assistance. Okay, so the aim of this webinar again is to equip us so that we will be ready in the academic year 2022-2023. Okay, so the first question that would come to our mind is, why do we need to write a module? So let me cite you some anchorage as to why do we need to write a module. So I'd like to mention the CHED, or the Commission on Higher Education COVID Advisory Number 7, which was released on May 24, 2020, in relation to prevention, control, and mitigation of the spread of the coronavirus disease 2019 in higher education institution. So the higher education institution should prepare for the opening of classes by undertaking the following. So this item from that advisory is particular with item number 4. So item number 4 says that there is an adoption of a flexible learning strategy or mode in delivering instruction by ensuring appropriate facility delivery, faculty complement, and um, student student support. Okay, so actually the open and distance learning is no longer new, because there was a CMO number 62 series of 2016, which should promote open and distance learning. And on May 11, 2020, CHED clarified that the distance learning is not purely online, because there is a notion about open and distance learning that it is a purely online, which is, again, it is not purely online. Now, in the clarification made by Ched mentioned that one of the characteristics of a flexible learning is for us to be able to design our delivery based on the situation of the learner. So it is common knowledge now that a number of our students do not have internet connection, do not have gadget for pure online, and thus, we resort to a modular approach or module, which is the best option for them. Now, what is a module? So, according to Krushank et al. Of 2003, a module is a form of individualized instruction that allows learner to use a self-contained package of learning activities. So I highlighted self-contained because it is the most important feature or characteristic of a modular approach or a module. So by being self-contained, it means something complete or having all that is needed in itself. So if you are utilizing a modular approach, or if you have a module, the learner doesn't have to have an internet for YouTubing or browsing Google, because the module in itself is self-contained, and everything that learners need is manifested in the module. Okay. Now, the learning activities, on the other hand, are actually the uh, are there to guide the learners to know or to be able to do something which is a part of the theme of the module. Now, a module is also a set of learning opportunities that is organized around okay. Uh, a module is a set of learning opportunities that is organized around a well-defined topic, which contains the element of instruction, specific objectives, teaching learning activities, and evaluation using the criteria reference measurement. Now, the CRA is actually a process of evaluating where the where the learning of the learners are fit against a set of pre-specified qualities uh, or criteria without actually reference to the achievement of other. Okay. Now, what are the benefits of using a module? So, a module encourage a better self-study or learning skill among learners. Suffice to say, it is independent learning. Learners develop a sense of responsibility in accomplishing the task provided in the module. With a little or no assistance at all from the teachers, the learner progress on their own and they are learning how to learn. So that is metacognition and therefore they are empowered. So the use of module is an alternative instructional design for the learning and satisfaction of the learner. So with the use of modules, learners work on various activities that are interesting and challenging enough to maintain the focus of uh, and attention. So because the module is self-contained, it is complete and independent. Therefore, the use of the module would help the learners acquire the knowledge he or she needed for the particular theme or subject of the module has. Okay. Furthermore, it is own pace, and therefore the learner can decide when to proceed to the next part of the module. Now, since it is a self-learning, what are the role of the teacher? So when we use a modular approach as the modality of learning instruction, what would be our role as the teacher? Now, according to Ivanovska in 2015, where he cited Vuller of 1997, learners' autonomy is best achieved when the teachers act as a facilitator of a learning, a counselor, and as a resource. Because module is autonomous, meaning the learners decide when to proceed to the next step. And according to this article, that the learner's autonomy is best achieved when the teacher is a facilitator, counselor, and as a resource. That is why we must be able to write a very good module because we act as a resource of the knowledge uh, that you would want to impart to your student. Now, the task of the teacher is to provide reasonable feedback, monitor, and help the learner see that the assigned task is valuable. So it is not right or correct that learner has a module, you will not going to assist them or evaluate them on their tasks. So we must able to monitor the progress of the student and provide proper feedback or reasonable feedback. Why? Because when you mark the work of the student conscious, consciously and give relevant feedback, the learners will find the meaning to what they do because they know that their effort is not wasted. So that is why it is important to give feedback to the performance of the student. Now, how do we write a module? So this is one of the challenges would face when using a modular approach. Anyway, all the teachers are writers, so that one of the competency of the teacher, and therefore it is easy for us, uh, for as long as we are given and guided by the proper format, characteristics, what should be in the elements of the module, then it would be easy for us to do it. Okay, at the start, you might have difficulty because it's something new. But if you are going to write a module on a topic that you love or a topic that is close to your heart, uh, and you know a lot about that particular topic, then it would just be not as challenging for you. Now, uh, what are the elements of a module? Now, a module must a self-contained, as we mentioned earlier. So it's an independent instruction unit. So it should contain a set of well-defined, systematically organized learning opportunities with clear defined the objectives to be achieved. And lastly, it should have means of evaluation, like for instance, grading rubric if it is a performance task. So we should be able to evaluate the output of our learner. And please take note of the following and remember these. The use of the module encourage independent study. So the learner is working his or her own pace. So it should direct the learner practice or rehearse information so that the learners can go back to the previous part of the module uh, when needed. And for the learners to gain mastery of the concept, exercise progression of the activity, progression of the activity should be from easy to difficult. But among all this, we must remember that the modular approach or the module is a self-contained, complete in itself. Okay? So moving forward, what are the components of a module? So I base this format from the Higher Education Institution Instructional Material Committee. So there are 7 important components of a module. So a module has to have title, introduction, objectives, instruction to the user, the pretest, the lesson proper, which can be presented in various approaches. And then finally, the last but not the least is the post test. Now, the first component is the title. Now, uh, the title must be clear, definite, and relevant to the theme. For example, I have a title here, which is written on the slide, a module on the fundamental arts and craft. So you will notice that this title does not indicate any particular subject of arts and craft, but we're going to write it in a better one, we could say that a module on a common hand tools, their uses and care. Now this title clearly defines the theme and content of the module, and therefore the title is better. Okay? Next component is the module. Next component of the module is the introduction. Excuse me. The introduction tells the theme and it's relevant to the user in a brief and clear language. So the language should be understandable to the learners. So it's very important that we know who will use the module so that we will be able to provide appropriate language for them. So we also incorporate localization or the use of the mother tongue. If it is if our student is under basic education curriculum or basic education program or primary level. The introduction may also indicates the target population for whom the module was developed. Okay? So the introduction should be presented in an exciting and engaging manner because it would stimulate the interest and motivation of the user to proceed to the lesson proper of the module. Again, I'd like uh, to highlight exciting and engaging manner for our learners to stimulate their interest and motivation. Okay. Next, the third component is the objectives. Now, the objectives must be clear, concise, specific, and measurable. So I have here an example of a poorly formulated objectives. So to enable the learners to understand about seminar. So understand in is a big word for education. So we will formulate better because we are following a SMART. According to the objectives, it should be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, time bound, and reliable. So it must fit to that particular parameter. So uh, so to and so we could say that the learners will recognize that a seminar involves a presentation on a specific topic, followed by a guided discussion. The learners will be able to make a presentation in seminar, participate in the discussion, and lastly, conduct a seminar by himself. So we can observe on the second in the well-formulated objective that this is more specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and time-bound to a specific or to a specific learning packet. Okay? Next, the fourth component is the instruction of the user. So the module should provide a clear instruction as to how the learner will proceed. Since this is a self-contained and uh, what they have to do, what they have to do after each step or stage. And remember, the modular approach aims to put the user to the road of self-learning or independent learning. And then, number five, we have here the pretest, which is usually taken at the beginning of the module. So the user needs to take the pretest so that it would help him or her to find out what he or she knows on the theme or the subject of the module. Then a key to correct answer is supplied. Then number six, which is the methods of the presentation, which contains the lesson proper. So this is a written elaboration of the theme or part of the theme of the module, which could be written in different approaches. So it could be an essay or a description, uh, pertinent reading materials, providing information sheet in which an activity, raise a few questions which are followed by the discussion, and provide a sense of learning activity. As regards to the essay or description, uh, it's something to do with an event or phenomenon or a real life situation. So, whatever the form, its content must be relevant with the theme. So, the lesson is followed by a worksheet in which the learners is expected to provide answer based on the lesson content. Okay, for the pertinent reading materials, these are the second approach to give. It indicates the additional reading material which are not given in the module but available in the library or any other resource reading materials that direct learning activity based on their reading. So for example, the learners is directed to understand the survey of the community, to collect data, something like that. The next one is provide information sheet in which an activity. So in the form of reading material relevant to the theme and objective is given. So it is similar to the lesson proper. So this is followed by evaluation questions to stimulate thinking. Okay. And then you may also use the raise a few question, which I'm using right now, which followed a discussion. So the user reads the discussion and accompanying discussion and takes and then take the test or the assessment. And the last approach that I can give you is providing a series of learning activities. So in the form of program materials based on the expected outcomes together with a discussion session. So usually the last approach uh, more often used in performance tasks like physical education, mate, TLE or the tech book, and or subjects that utilize performance tasks. Okay, and then the last but not the least is the post test. Okay, so the post test serve as the check on how the learner has studied the module. So it also contains the uh, contains the key to correct answer. So uh, this this is the assessment where uh, we can evaluate our student if they really learn uh, the knowledge that is provided by the module. Okay, so that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable presentation with our participants. So, sir, we will go to our quiz competition, and after the quiz competition, we come back with you in our Q&A session. So, till then, please stay with us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. My dear lovely audience, now we will going to start our quiz competition session. And so before starting the show, let me tell you, please don't forget to share, comment, and tag your friends in our comment. So uh, we are playing a short video, and after the video, we will play our quiz competition. Welcome everyone to our quiz competition session. So you can see the joining link in our comment box or go to www.slido.com, and that is flashed on screen, and the code is IGP quiz. You can also scan the QR code. So please hurry up, join with us. It will be fun and excited. So many things are here. We can gather knowledge here. We can share knowledge here. So join with us. Hurry up. So right now we have 24 participants who joined us. So first, thank you for joining. Okay. Okay, let me tell you. Please give your full name that you want to print in our in quiz competition certificates. Let me tell you, there is a difference between quiz competition certificates and webinar certificates. So if you have any problem, you can please connect our Facebook official page, and you can send message to our official page and share about your problems. Okay, right now we have 36 participants, 37. Okay, right now we have 41 participants. Great. Okay, we won't take time, so please join up, hurry up. So after the quiz competition session, we start our QA session, and in the QA session, you can ask question to our honorable speaker, and please address his name in comment box that session. Okay, let's see how many participants joined right now. Right now we have 44 participants. Okay, still we are waiting for new participants. Okay, you can see comments. Comments from Lali. Okay, Hello from Georgia. Hello. Please join us. Please join our quiz competition. You can see the joining link in the comment box, or you can directly go to www.slido.com and give the code that is IGP quiz. It will be fun, so please join with us. Okay, we have comment from Innocent Thank. Okay, please join in our QA session. Okay, right now we have 46 participants. Okay, let's start the show. So our first question is the major areas in the incident command system are finance, operations, planning, logistics and command, or logistics, planning, command and operations. Choose your choices option. So the correct answer is the first option, that is finance, operations, planning, logistics and command. 60% of our participants choose the correct answer. So let's see our leaderboard. Okay, we have Chervin Calizo Yamaguchi on first position in our leaderboard, following Cristina Vidal Rosario, following Dennis Winter Sarso, following Alex Avir Alvarez, and Jam Venlada. So congratulations to our top 5 winners right now. Let's see our next question. Incident command system is modular. This means sections of the ICS can move to different locations as needed, or the incident commander delegates authority to sections as needed. Two different options. So the correct answer is the second option. And the answer is the incident commander delegates authority to sections as needed. 34% of our participants get the correct answer. So let's see our report. Oh, right now we have Napoleon B. Torcellino on first position in our leaderboard, following Pamela B. Second position, following Veneranda, following Cristiano Di Candido, and Paula G. So congratulations to all of you, and the color of leaderboard changed. I mean the name. So let's see our next question, and let's see is new name coming or not. So the question is English KSSR is based on modular approach, which consists the modules of listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, language arts, or writing, listening, speaking, hearing, grammar. So the correct answer is listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, language arts. That means the first option. So 87% of our participants get the correct answer. Let's see the leaderboard. Okay, we have Napoleon B. Torsilono still on first position in third question. Okay, following Pamela, following Anna Marie Joy, following Crispiniano Di Candido, and Veneranda. So congratulations to all of you. Let's see our question number 4. Massive World Games use a modular patience approach. dividing the work, but not this section. So, is it install or animation? Install or animations? So, the correct answer is install. 72% of our participants choose the correct answer. So, let's go to our little talk. Okay, we have Pamela B. Gonzalvo on first position in our leaderboard, following Anna Marie Joy, following Crispiniano Di Candido. Then we have Christina Vidal Rosario and Sherilyn Calazo Yamaguchi. Okay, let's see our question number 5. Always approach a helicopter from the front. Is this true or false? Always approach a helicopter from the front. So the correct answer is true. 54% of our participants get the correct answer. So let's check our leaderboard. We have Pamela B. Gonzalvo on first position in our leaderboard right now. Then we have Crispiniano Di Candido following Anna Marie Joy, following Christina Vida Rosario, and Sherilyn Calado Hakuchi. So let's see our question number 6. The historical approach to software development has been which approach? Is this structured approach or guide approach? So let's see the correct answer. Okay, the correct answer is first option, that is structured approach, and 91% of our participants got the correct answer. So let's check our leaderboard. Okay, we have Camila P. Gonzalvo still on first position in our leaderboard, following Anna Mary Joy, following Crispiniano Di Candido. Then we have Cristina Vidal Rosario and Alex Javier Alvarez. So let's see our next question, and congratulations all of you. Sequential modular modeling approach gathers all the model equations together and solves them at the same time. Is that true or false? We are waiting to see the correct answer. Okay, the correct answer is second option, that is false. And only 30% of our participants get the correct answer. See the Lavi Gonzalvo in first position, following Cristina Vidal Rosario, following Sherilyn Calazo Yamaguchi. Then we have Alex Javier Alvarez and Anne Marie John. So congratulations to all of you. So let's see our question number 8. Is primary plus modular or linear? Is primary plus modular or linear? Is this modular or linear? Choose your option. So the correct answer is modular. 84% of our participants get correct answer. So let's see our leaderboard. Okay, we have Christina Vidal Rosario on first position in our leaderboard, following Charlene Calazon Abuji, following Alex Javier Alvarez, and Anna Mary Joy, and finally we have Jameline Rivera. So congratulations all of you, and last we have only two more questions. So let's see our next question. Which of the following is not a software development approach? Is this defining and understanding the problem or end user? So the correct answer is first option, that is defining and understanding the problem. Only 46% of our participants get the correct answer. So let's see. We have Cristina Vidal Rosario on first position in our leaderboard, following Alex Avir Alvarez, following Crispiniano Di Candido, following Charlene Calzo Mapucci, and finally Anne Marie Joy. So congratulations all of you. Let's see our next question, that is final question, question number 2. Okay, a big bang implementation approach should be considered when no other way, hard deadline, or greenfield site combined with process change. So the correct answer is the first option. Only 45% of our participants get the correct answer. So let's see leaderboard. Let's see the top 10 winners named. Okay, first position we have Christina Vida Rosario. Then we have Alex Avir Alvarez on second position. Then we have Charlene Calazon Pucci on third position, following Anna Marie Joy on fourth position, and we have Annalita Quitor Villanueva on fifth position. Let's see the other five names were listed in top 10 winners. Okay, we have Jamaline B. Rivera, placed 6, Crispiniano Di Candido, placed 7, Melinda C. Hispano, placed 8, Dennis Guento Sorso, placed 9, and Paolo Jean Enoch, placed 10. So, congratulations to our top 10 winners. So congratulations everyone who win and listed in top 10's name. You get your certificates from our Facebook official Facebook page. After the program, it will be in 15 minutes later or it will be in 1 minute later. So check our Facebook page. And now we will start our next session, that is Q&A session with our honorable speaker. So before starting the show, let me tell once again, don't forget to tag, mention, and share in your timeline this webinar. So get ready and join. Welcome everyone in our Q&A session with our honorable speaker. Welcome, sir, once again.
Uh, Hello again, and greetings again to each and every one. And my apologies if I did not move the slide for a while
Oh,
kanina.
sir, it's okay, sir. Okay, dear audience, please mention our speaker's name in comment box and ask your question. So right now we have First question from Marvin Robert. Good evening. In this current situation, where educational learning gaps in one of the major issues that requires much attention, what is your stand that modular approach is still effective to solve the learning gaps? How will you convince the parents to continue supporting this approach?
Okay, so we can tell to the parents that the student uh, have their own pace with this with their own modular with the modular approach. So it is more effective in the teaching learning method when we compare this in traditional learning. So as I've said in our discussion, it is what it is, self contained with learning activities. And take note, yung the learning gap you were referring could be could be solved by the evaluation that you are going to include in your module.
Okay, thank you, sir. We are still waiting for our next question. Let's see who's going to ask. Dear participants, okay, we have our next question from Ma'am Evelyn Perry. Good evening, sir. What do you think is the impact of modular approach to the academic performance of learner? Thank you.
Okay, on conclusion, on several occasion, conclusion showed that there is significant difference between the modular and the tradition in terms of the general comprehension of the student. So the student taught a thorough modular approach guided by higher mean score in teachers made general comprehension based tests. So the student taught traditional approaches.
Thank you, sir, so much. Okay. Our next question from Brian June. Okay, can how can a modular approach address the problem about poor level of comprehension of students, or if any, what can a teacher to do to help the students having this problem?
So, like what I've said, we have to use appropriate level of objectives from a specific to a higher mean. Okay, so that the assessment of learning, we can achieve yung uh, learning capability of the student.
Thank you, sir. We are still waiting for next question. Okay, we have our next question from Crispiniano Candido. Sir, what is the validity of taste or evolution in the modular approach of learning?
What do you mean validity? I'd like to know what do we mean when we say validity. So, as to your question, what is the validity of the test? As I've said earlier, we have to monitor the progress of our student. So we could check the validity if we're going to home visit the student into their household to check if they are really the one doing the module. So there will be no learning if the learners did are not the one who answered this module. So again, to check and verify the validity of the test and the assessment that you provide on your module, you have to monitor the progress of your student by checking them if they are the one or really the one doing it.
Okay, thank you, sir. We are waiting for next question.
Excuse me.
Okay, one more question. And it is from Lian Jun again. Some parents are mostly in charge of giving supervision to students. In your own opinion, what can you advise to parents who are less educated or has less capacity to teach their children at home using their modules?
So with this question, we could work this hand in hand. So not only the parents but also the role of the teacher. So as I based on the presentation, our role is to provide reasonable feedback. Now, if the parents are less educated, uh, the parents could inquire or ask question to the teachers that can supply the answer for the question of the student. So it is a teamwork for the parents, the teachers, and for the student, not only the work of the parents.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your presentation, your knowledge with our participants.
Thank you.
So you can share your with our audience. Okay. So you can say anything to our audience.
So, once again, I'd like to thank the all of the participants of this webinar, and most especially the Institute of Global Professional for giving this an opportunity to share uh, this webinar to the others. So I hope that you learned something today. Stay safe and God bless. Thank you very much,
Thank,
IGP family.
thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir. lovely audience. Today's program name is Modular Approach in the Midst of Pandemic, and today's code is webinar code that is IGP1629. Let me repeat, IGP1629. So without code, no one is eligible for certificates. And with code, you can claim your certificates anytime, or you can go to our website, and our website address is www.eduigp.com. Let me tell you again, www.eduigp.com. So go and get your certificates and celebrate with us. Don't forget to celebrate with us. So thank you for joining us till right now, and thank you for participating in our quiz competition and part of our Q&A session. So thank you all of you for your support, and we hope that we will have you in our next webinar. So till then, stay happy, stay healthy wherever you are, and stay blessed. Have a good day, and I'm signing off.